All right, gentlemen, I appreciate both of you doing
Hang on.
this.
Can we bring back the $1 Million Baby?
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah.
The Knights of the Round Table?
No, my bump song.
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention to bump music today.
Yeah, that.
I appreciate you getting it, Michael.
Thank you. I ain't never ripped a set, yo. Let's go. What's up? What are we talking about? We got to deal with Dave Doeren, Mack Brown.
No. We might get that. We might do a little of that. I'm more broad. I'm more positive today. Like,
I'm taking my hat off because I don't want to sweat.
All right, so I will start with a kind of a general conversation. Did we do something wrong? I'll start with you, Mike, on this. Did we do something wrong if you look at the FBS level and the National Football League? In the state of North Carolina, we have one team with a winning record, and that's Duke. Why are we being punished? Why? What did we do?
Yes, I don't know what we did, but you look at the bottom of the ACC, and obviously there's NC State and UNC right at the bottom. They're hanging out together. And then you look at App State, a team that we usually can rely on.
2-4.
ECU is a team that usually shows up, and this is just one of those things where this year Wake obviously is also not very good, and they're underdogs to UConn this weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm going to Pack Pride. You tell me, man. What did we do?
Come on, Cory. Help. What happened? What did we do wrong?
I don't know, because the site that I run, the team that I'm the beat writer for, I'm the editor for, was supposed to be the flag bearer this year.
Right.
And NC State has not held up their end of the bargain so far this year. Actually, the only win in ACC play that Wake Forest has is over NC State. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, this is a weird year, man. Like, I mean, I don't think any of us expected the Panthers to be good. I don't think any of us really expected Carolina to be good. But like, I think a lot of people kind of looked at the schedule and said, all right, UNC, if they have competent offensive play, they can probably still win 8-9 games. For NC State, it was like, hey man, 10 wins or bust was the expectation going into the year. And obviously, we know Grayson McCall is injured. We know, the way things have gone have been different than what most people expected. But still, like, being 3-4 at this point in the year, winless in ACC play, and if you lose to Cal this weekend, which obviously the odds makers think they will, this is a team that's looking at 3-5 and needs to win, 3 out of its last 4 games to even have bowl eligibility if that takes place.
Mike, let me, because Cory and I have talked about CJ Bailey. I think the kid looks like he can play. What are your thoughts on Bailey? I wasn't planning on talking about State and Carolina, but now I got questions. So what are your thoughts on Bailey?
I think he's very good. I love watching him play. Every play is a deep breath of, please don't let someone get a direct shot on him, because this is a 6'7" kid that weighs like, what does he weigh? What does he weigh?
210.
210? No way. No shot. He's 210. No shot.
It's like Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, if somebody gets a direct shot on him, this is going to be a problem. But I love what he does and what he brings to the table. It's just as a matter of, like, you also have to, and we all work in media, right?
Right.
So we've all had, I know, don't even get me started, man. Now you're going to lead to a fight with my wife tonight, and it's Friday. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I want to continue to work in media, but no, we all have worked with an IFB, right?
Yes.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to have someone in your ear and then still do everything you're supposed to do. And I think that it's a developed skill, and I don't think he's developed that skill yet. So with the green dot on the back of his helmet when he's in the game, I do think that there is that's a rough spot for him to be in. So to me, I do think it slows things down when they should be speeding things up. I think they should go back. I think they should go more signals, if we're being honest.
Okay.
Go to signals. Go to, like, hardcore, like, not hardcore, but, like, go to hard play calls with signals and immediate checks, and that's it. Instead of, a coach talking to you until there's 15 seconds to go, and then the defense, we've all seen them, till the defense moves.
Right. Yeah. And then you're out of luck.
Yeah.
Then you're on your own, kid. Oh, yeah. Man. All right, let me go kick this back to you, Mike, and then we'll let Cory comment on this as well. Doesn't it feel – maybe this is it's not even worth talking about anymore, but doesn't it feel, and hasn't it felt for some weeks, that we're playing out the string in Chapel Hill, that it's going to end at the end of the year? I thought it was going to end last year. It just has felt for several weeks like it was over already.
He tried to make it be over.
Yeah, that was part of the reason we all felt that way. But I felt that way at the end of last year. I didn't think we were going to have another year, Mack Brown.
It's not, look, and I talked to Roddy Jones pretty routinely, and Roddy's a friend of mine, and Roddy was like, the thing that sucks is that you want Mack to go out on a high note because he is good for the game. He's such a nice guy. But at the end of the day, this team's not even close to where we think they should be or where we expect them to be. My phone, Cory and Gold, my phone on Saturdays with the guys that I've played with is like, yo. Like,
overheats.
Guys, yes, it's going insane. So I don't want Mack Brown to get fired. I want Mack Brown to have someone that he wants to take over this team, just so that everything ends on a good note. But if it keeps going the way it's going, I don't know what's going to happen. Cory, what about you? What about like your thoughts on the Mack Brown situation, but also with Doeren?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I've noticed with both of them at this point, between Mack and Doeren, is I think not to say the shtick, but the message that you've been passing along over the past few years, I think it's just kind of worn out. You've gotten to the point where, particularly with Mack, it's like, who goes into the locker room and says, "Do you want me to leave? If so, keep playing this way." Like, essentially that message to the team. Like, I mean, that's a sign of like, all right, you're 1 foot's out the door essentially at that point, right? I mean, that's the way it feels to me. But yeah, I agree with you. I think his line of thinking was always kind of what Roy Williams wanted to do, where you want to be able to have that predecessor, despite the fact that the success might not be there at the end. You want to be able to, have that person next in line and have somebody ready for that. But I mean, there's no obvious answer there at this point, and it doesn't look like there's really a pathway for him to end this thing on the right foot, unless they're able to really turn things around right now. But I mean, with the quarterback play, the defensive play, the way it is right now, I don't see that for UNC. And right now, the same thing, like you just asked about with Doeren. I mean, like I said, if you go 3-5 after a loss this coming up weekend, yes, you have 2 bye weeks built in for the last 4 games. But I mean, like I said, that message right now is just really not resonating for either one of these coaches. We'll see if they're truly able to turn things around on the stretch, though.
All right, I'm sensing something I didn't think that we would sense, and maybe I've just misread that. Because I have been asked a ton, what if it goes south? Is Dave Doeren in trouble? And I've always said that, no, the program's fine. This season has not worked out, but I think the program is in good shape. Cory, are you suggesting that maybe Dave Doeren's, seat is getting warm in Raleigh?
I don't think for this season.
Okay.
I mean, and part of that
is the down the road thing.
Part of that is exactly what we talked about. Last year near the end of the what seemed like the end of the Keats era was like, hey, if somebody really wants to make this thing happen, you're going to have to pony up a ton of money, because right now the buyout is in excess of $10 million for him, because he did just sign a new 5-year contract this past offseason. I don't see that happening right now, but at the same time, I mean, it's hard to look at this and go, all right, how is there not frustration within that program about what's going on? You saw the comments earlier this week. While it seemed overly positive from Boo Corrigan, the AD for NC State, you look at that, and the first comment is, I appreciate you standing with us, given what's happened the past week. It's just kind of a weird time going on right now, and it does seem like there's clearly some frustration. He can't outwardly say that, but right now for NC State, it's, again, your back's against the wall right now. We saw how they reacted last year, but man, I mean, there's some clear frustration going on with that program right now.
Yeah, I don't know that Boo Corrigan really needed to say anything. That's a kind of like maybe we just don't hit send on that. Whoever put that together, just don't hit send. Like send that to somebody inter-office. Don't push that out on social media. I don't know if you saw this last week, Mike, but when Dave Doeren had his press conference and he basically talked about the night game, giving his fans more time to get bombed.
Sure.
And that maybe they would stand up and help on third down. And all I know is that as they were falling behind Syracuse was 5 of 7 on third down. And I thought maybe the fans were too drunk, so they couldn't actually stand and help on third down, because that's obviously the way that you would stop Syracuse from converting. That was just a bad look to me. From start to, I wasn't as put off by the drinking part, and then he went and attacked his own fans, which, who wins in that situation ever?
No one. And certainly not the coach. Like, at the end of the day, the reality of it is you want, like, we talked about the Red River rivalry.
I wouldn't even attempt it today, Mike.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I said Red River rivalry. It's hard. It's hard to say. Red River rivalry.
I wouldn't even attempt it. Corey's trying hard not to laugh. He's trying hard.
But they played it at 3:30. That's a noon game normally.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how good it was for all the fans to be like, extra lubricated, if you will. And for Texas, obviously, they went out and they took care of business. I look at NC State is one of what are they? Two teams in the ACC that has like pass backs where you can go out and then come back into the stadium.
Yes, and Dave Doeren is not a fan.
Why?
Yes, he does. He wants his fans to stay in the stadium because they don't get back for the start of the third quarter. That's why.
That's insane. So
just saying.
Listen, I played at UNC. You know what we need? Pass ins.
Just come back in at some point, right?
Just like be here at some point. Did you see? I watched the game on television, the Georgia Tech game and the game before that, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
It was 70 degrees. They said it felt like 90. And I was
beautiful.
like, oh yeah. It was just like bouncing. I'm getting texts from people. They're like, the sun is just like just bouncing off the bleachers.
The metal bleachers, yes.
So yeah, I think that Doran's got to figure out. Like I just don't. And I guess this is something. And I'll be for real, Corey, Adam. I'll be real. I think that Doeren doesn't. Even though he's been here for what, a decade? Is that right?
12 years, right?
12 years.
12.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't think he has. I don't think there's an understanding of. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he has an understanding of this state or how things work or how. If I had to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, UNC is 5 as far as fan bases go.
Right.
For football.
Right.
I think ECU, App State, and NC State are 1, 2, 3, and you can put them in any order you want.
Okay.
And then when Wake's good, they have a good fan base. But like at the end of the day, like so maybe UNC's 4. But at the end of the day, those 3, depending on the year, those 3 belong there. And it feels like he doesn't understand that they matter, like they care, like they do care. NC State fans care tremendously. Like this is the thing that they care about, and we need to make sure that this matters. And watching him complain, like especially with obviously Helene, that's a massive tragedy. The state fair, that's a huge situation that everybody's going to have to figure out. But NC State is part of the backbone of the football community. Like, listen, you know what I do? I'd throw Clemson in at number 4. Ahead of UNC.
In North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's right, because of the Charlotte community where Felder is. Real quick, Cory, about Dave, because I think what Mike is getting at, I think has a lot of merit. He certainly knows his fan base, but I think Dave has wanted, in some ways, Chuck Amato did the same thing. Dave has wanted his fan base to be like locked in completely on every
to him,
right, to the way he wants to do it,
right,
as opposed to and I think Dave has come and met them a little bit, maybe just not quite as far. Like to me, Dave should be joking about the tailgate culture, but he was that comment to me had more meaning than it should have.
No, I don't mean to interrupt you, Cory, but here's what I'm going to say: that tailgate culture matters.
It does matter. I think he should have been joking about it more. He should not.
It's the best in the state of the big schools. It is the best. And you need to respect that. And I think that's important. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I mean, and I think too, I mean, part of it, like you said, I mean, part of the comments when he first opened up with it, it was joking. It was kind of like, hey, it's great that they'll be able to have Bloody Marys all day and be good to go. But then kind of the way he locked in with the third down thing was a little weird, kind of how that rubbed people the wrong way. But as far as his feeling about NC State, I mean, I think the rub has always been the fact that, like you've talked about a little bit, the pass outs and things like that, you can leave at halftime. Fans don't always come back in the third quarter the way they should. And NC State fans can say what they want, but I mean, I'm sitting up there watching from the press box, and you can see it's pretty sparse at the beginning of the third quarter, and then it kind of fills back in midway through. So, yes, there is truth to that. But I think from the NC State fan base, they're looking at it going, hey, we're selling out every single game, 20 straight games, and they've already sold out every single game this year. The fan base is there. If you can't make games, they're selling tickets to people that will show up and be loud and be there. Like the fan support the other night was just as good as it's been for the past several years for Dave Doeren, win or lose. I mean, that's been the case all, throughout his entire tenure is fans are going to be there. It's the issue right now, I think, with fans is watching this style of football, watching this brand of football. And, the fact that it's all about keeping games close. It's not about blowing opponents out. It's not about, high flying offense, things along those lines. It's complimentary football. It's, winning in that form, and it doesn't fit for this NC State fan base a ton right now.
That's Cory Smith from Pack Pride. Mike Felder at In the Bleachers. Also, It's Felder, the Substack. College football, cooking, and complaining is how it's termed, and that is true. Final question, and this is what I love about having both of you guys on together. I knew it was going to be great. But we never got to any of the things I wanted to get to, and that's good. Seriously, everything I wrote down we were going to talk about, we never even came close to it.
We'll see you this time next Friday.
Well, hey, man.
I'm in.
Victoria's job just got easier for next week. If Dave Doeren brought out a koozie at his next press conference, your respect for him would go through the roof, would it not, Mike?
Yeah, especially if he wears shorts, too. I'm in.
Shorts and a koozie in his back pocket, and we are all good. All right, so I'll talk to you guys next week.
Sounds good. I was going to say either a koozie or red Solo cup. That's kind of his thing,
Yeah, good call. Good call, Cory.
My gosh, that is fantastic. Mike Felder at In the Bleachers, Cory Smith from Pack Pride. I appreciate our Cory Smith. I got to remember all these Twitter handles in my brain. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.